Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video. We're exploring the crystal Hemimorphite. Now it's this beautiful oceanic blue kind of crystal, and it grows kind of in this bubbled form like this with all these kind of bumps on it. Now when we carve that or slice that, you get these beautiful nice lines in it. It's so beautiful. It has such an oceanic feel. Now sometimes Hemimorphite is confused with the more popular and also more expensive Larimer. But although they look quite similar when I hold them next to each other, they both have an oceanic energy, but I find that they're also very different. Larimer, and you can check out my full video on Larimer, is very much about abundance and opening up more and being open more, whereas there is an openness in Hemimorphite, but it's more in communication, and as we communicate, we become more specific as well. And so, in this video, we're going to dive into Hemimorphite and look at all different ways that you can work with this crystal to bring benefit to your life. If I take you back to high school science, I'm sure you can remember that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. So, when we have a thought or a feeling, that's a type of energy. And if we don't express it and get rid of it, we tend to repress it and it will sit within us. And that can cause lots of different trouble. So, this is where Hemimorphite comes in. And I remembered of a story of someone who first was working with Hemimorphite, and she said she bought a pendant very similar to this. And she wore it that night, and she had a friend over, and she said, we just had the most amazing conversation, and I felt like I was in confession. I just spoke about things and felt comfortable talking about things that I would never normally tell people. And in fact, I told her things I've never told anyone in my life. And that's exactly the power of Hemimorphite. It allows us to bring different things up. Now, we've all done things in our life that we probably are not too proud of, that we feel shame or guilt around, but holding that in can only kind of fester within us and be at our detriment. Allowing ourselves to confess that and to share that in a positive way with someone we trust can be really quite healing, and that's what Hemimorphite will allow you to do. If you know there are things you need to talk about, things you need to get off your chest but you're not sure how, then work with Hemimorphite to allow that to happen. It's also great for grief. This has a watery aspect, and of course our tears are shedding that water, allowing those waterworks to flow. And so if you've been holding in grief as well, try working with Hemimorphite. If you struggle to cry, if you struggle to get in touch with your emotions, then Hemimorphite can really help in that way. Hemimorphite is a great crystal for helping to clean up your life. Now, we talked about emotional release and allowing that to all come out, but try sitting with this crystal and contemplate, what can I let go in my life? Often, we have too much clutter in our lives, maybe in your space. Look around wherever you're sitting now. Can some of that go? Because the state of your house and the state of your space is often the state of your mind. Are there too many thoughts in your head that you need to release as well? Hemimorphite can help you to let that all flow, get that out on paper, and release those worrisome thoughts. In fact, Hemimorphite is really good for getting rid of anything that's not serving you. If you are in a dysfunctional relationship that is not serving you, then Hemimorphite will bring you out of that and give you the courage to find ways to transition out of that. Now, if you're wondering, am I in a dysfunctional relationship or not? Here's one question to ask yourself. Does the person bring out the best in you or the worst in you? Now, that can be a romantic relationship, it can be a family relationship, it can be a work relationship. Are you shining or are you dulling your light? Hemimorphite will help you to discover the answers to that and also to make moves out of that. Hemimorphite is also really good if you're trying to get into a healthier lifestyle, but you tend to keep on being drawn back by bad habits or emotional eating and that type of thing. Use Hemimorphite to give you the strength to flow towards a healthier life. It's really good also if you're trying to overcome listening to the ego and rise above that. Hemimorphite encourages you to look for the greater good and what's going to serve you in the long run. As you start to work with this crystal, it will open the floodgates of positive change into your life. As long as you're willing to take those steps, this crystal's energy will help you to do that. Another place that this can help you is with the ankles. Now, when we have pain in our ankles or problems with our ankles, it can be a lack of flexibility, unwilling to move and unwilling to change things, possibly, that aren't serving us anymore. What I'd recommend is try wearing Hemimorphite as low on the body as you can. Maybe if you can get a small bit and even make an anklet out of it. And it can help with any ankle problems. I love combining that with doTERRA essential oils. I have a couple of blends called Deep Blue and Aroma Touch. Try rubbing them into the area. That's going to help on a physical level. This will help you on the energetic level. And I find anyone who's getting aches and pains in their ankles tends to start experiencing relief within a week or so. Hemimorphite can really help you to align with some different astrology that's out there, especially when these planets start going into retrograde. Now the first one, of course having that watery connection, is Neptune. Neptune, when it's going direct, or where it is in our astrological chart, allows us to see the beauty in life. And then when he goes retrograde, what happens is those rose-coloured glasses come off and we start to see the harshness of life. Now, if you need to bring in a bit more beauty, if you're in the arts, any form of art, whether it be performing, whether it be painting, whether it be fashion, any of that, then Hemimorphite can actually allow the beauty of life to flow back into your work. So whenever you are working on any artistic endeavour, have Hemimorphite nearby. Now, also when Neptune goes into retrograde, this can help to bring a bit more of that beauty into your life when you're feeling its lack is gone. The other planet, or dwarf planet, that this resonates with really well is Sedna. Now, Sedna is way beyond Pluto, an icy red planet, and Sedna represents an aspect of ourselves that has been victimized. Now, all of us at some point in our lives have been picked on due to our gender, our ability, our appearance, our sexuality, our religion, something. And we can feel a bit downtrodden and a bit weak. This crystal, with Sedna's energy and understanding Sedna's energy, especially when she goes into retrograde and those issues come up more, can allow us to see how we can rise above that, how we can release that pain, those feelings of victimhood, and regain our personal power. We all get dragged down by life, but there is what happens and is how we react to it. And Hemimorphite can help us to choose more positive ways to rise up above it by releasing what's no longer serving us in our thoughts or our emotional body. If you feel drawn to work with water, then one way we can do this is work with either the merfolk or the undines. So what are the merfolk and the undines? These are the elemental beings, the personification of the energies of all water. Now normally the merfolk, the mermaids and the mermen, are associated with the seas and the oceans. But as you can see here, I'm in a little creek here, which will become a stream as winter continues on, and this has a watery energy as well. Not so much a mermaid energy, but kind of a little kind of sprightly energy. Of course, water is the element of emotions, feelings, and love, and allowing those things to ebb and flow and us to be guided by them and understand what is in alignment with our soul and what's not. If you'd like to connect with anything that is beautiful, that inspires you, and what is in alignment with your emotions or what to do with your emotions, we need guidance in that. Then you can connect with either the undines, the elementals of all water, or the merfolk. Simply take this crystal, sit near some water, sit quietly, close your eyes, and maybe you'll be able to visualize or sense their energy around you. Allow that trickling to, resonate with the trickling within you. Allow the ebb and flow of the ocean to resonate with the ebb and flow of you, and allow guidance to come. Now you may see in your mind or feel in your dreams or whenever the merfolk or the undine, some kind of elemental being, or you may feel just flashes of light or a sensation of energy. But Hemimorphite can help you to make that connection a little bit quicker and a little bit stronger. Hemimorphite is also really good if you're a bit landlocked. Maybe you live in the middle of a country and there's not much water around and you miss it. Then have some Hemimorphite with you, and it will really help you to feel comfortable and bring that aspect of water into your life, even when it's not really around you too much in your surroundings. To make the most out of your Hemimorphite, then you can bring in other different gifts of nature to help guide you and resonate. So I love working with essential oils, and an oil that I love with Hemimorphite is blue cypress. Now many cypress oils that you might be familiar with come from the leaves of the tree, but you can also get wood oil from cypress. You may have heard of hinoki essential oil or other cypress oils. Well, there's one called blue cypress, and this is an essential oil that comes from Australia, and the essential oil is actually blue. Now this is an extremely powerful powerful and potent essential oil, and it's very much about speaking truth and finding truth. Working with blue cypress allows you to always say what you feel, but it also encourages you to keep inquiring. When we become stagnant and stuck in our beliefs, we stop evolving, and blue cypress always makes you keep on checking back and making sure that is right, checking the facts. It's also really good when you are around people who are challenging your truth. It helps you, instead of resisting and giving way, to actually stand up and believe in that resolve. Blue cypress can also be really good in helping you connect with different guides. So, especially your merfolk or your undying guides, or any watery guide, whether you're connected to whale, dolphin, or so on, can be really great. Now that leads me to my next animal guide, which resonates really well with Hemimorphite, and that is walrus. Now walrus, of course, is an animal of the water, and thus is a guardian of the element of the water realm too, and walrus is a defender of the emotional realm. You know, walrus can be a bit savage, and what walrus encourages you to do is he teaches us to make sure we surround ourselves in people that are harmonious and that resonate with where we're going in life. He can help you to stand up to dysfunctional relationships or unhealthy relationships and help you get out of them, whether that be with people, food, or a bad habit. Astrologically, I've already told you that this is really great for working with Neptune as well as Saturn. Now Neptune rules the day Friday, so that is the best day to work with your Hemimorphite. That is the power day. And of course, this is a really great crystal for Pisceans that are ruled by Neptune as well. Sometimes Pisceans that have that beautiful dreamlike state can get overwhelmed by the harshness of reality and the depressing aspects of life. When we need to get back in the flow and see the beauty of life, whether we're a Pisces or anyone who wants to bring in a bit more Piscean energy, then Hemimorphite can be a really great crystal to work with. Now, have you worked with Hemimorphite? I'd love to hear about your experiences. If you've got one, please share it with our crystal loving community and pop it in the comment section below. While you're lingering down there as well, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Every time you do that, a unicorn gets its horn. And it makes me smile too. But I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.